Do we have superhero fatigue? My answer is yes and no. So my opinion on the superhero fatigue that some people have said, they're tired of superhero movies, they need to be stopped. They don't need to be stopped, they just need to be written better. And also they need to take their time with the visual effects, because some of the visual effects have been terrible in the last decade. I mean, some of Marvel's CGI has been atrocious. And DC, you too. I feel like DC gave up and we're like, okay, we're going to reboot the entire DC universe, while Marvel is still going, not as strong as it should. You got to remember, superhero movies back then, like a long time ago, there was hardly any superhero movies, and the only good ones was Superman 1, 2, and Batman Returns, and then everything fell apart. Sorry about that. The superhero movies were not good for a little bit, and then Blade came along, and then we had X-Men, and then we had X-Men, and then we had the Batman Begins and that trilogy, and then finally the MCU showed up in 2008. Those were groundbreaking at the time, and also you had the Spider-Man movies. There was a few a few pretty bad early 2000s superhero movies. But now people are tired of superhero movies, which I understand. There's so much of it. I mean, there's so many TV shows, from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You have connected. You kind of have to watch it. But like I said, the writing needs to be better, and the visual effects need to be better. And there's been problems with certain actors, like the Ezra Miller thing, and the Kang the Conqueror actor, Amber Heard. But I love superhero movies. I love the comics, and they need to definitely research their source material better. So a lot of people did not like the last Captain Marvel movie, which I thought was pretty decent, but the villain was terrible. That's one of the problems I feel like, I don't think any superhero movie will be as good as Avengers Endgame. The ones that came remotely close to being as good as Endgame was Spider-Verse, due to nostalgia, with the other two Spider-Mans. Spider-Verse was very good, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, that was great. For DC, though, it's been a disaster after disaster with the visual effects, the writing, the shift in tones. She-Hulk was awful. That was probably the worst thing that the Marvel Cinematic Universe ever did, because the writing was bad, the visual effects were bad, the acting was alright, but you guys gotta step up on the writing and making it more interesting, have stuff at stake, bring in villains that we know, or actually have superhero characters that only comic book fans know of, like they did with Guardians, because I didn't really know who the Guardians were when they came out. I mean, where's the Darkhawk movie? You guys got to make. Everybody's been wanting a new Incredible Hulk movie. There's other DC characters you can do. I don't know what happened with the Spawn movie, but a lot of people are just tired of superhero movies and superhero shows because it's just too much for a lot of people. Personally, I am a little fatigued, kind of like Star Wars, because they've made so many shows and movies. But at least they're somewhat entertaining. What they need to slow it down, work on the visual effects, work on the writing, make sure your actors are not crazy, because some of the actors are a little crazy. But yeah, the superhero fatigue is real, unfortunately. But I'm not completely tired of superhero movies. But I'll see them every year. It doesn't matter. Like, that's like the only thing I'll watch anymore in movies is horror movies and superhero movies, because everything else is just boring to me, in my opinion.